Worth saving. Ayala shifted in her seat, anxiously waiting for the school board meeting to begin. The room was full, and at the front of the room, the Harrison Middle School board sat behind a long table. Ms. Alvarez, the board president, rose to her feet and called the meeting to order. I'm glad to see that so many members of our community are present to discuss the future of the music program, she said. To begin, Principal Hopkins will explain the proposed changes, and after that we'll take comments from the audience. As you all know, Mr. Hopkins began after rising to face the audience, I'm a big fan of our music program, but unfortunately we have to confront the realities of our budget. Then he went on to lay out the case for cutting back music classes and eliminating the choir. Ayala felt herself longing to jump up and interrupt Mr. Hopkins. She loved music. Singing made her feel like she could express any emotion with perfect clarity and beauty. And Mrs. Zelinsky, the music teacher, was a favorite of all students. She could coax beautiful sounds out of even the most reluctant singers. Mr. Hopkins finished his presentation saying, I know some people in this room will object to this plan because they want to continue our wonderful music program without changes, but I'm afraid I do not see an alternative to making cuts. Unable to sit still for a moment longer, Ayala shot to her feet and exclaimed, That's just wrong! There was a startled hush in the room. Ayala realized that she had heard three voices, her own and two others, speaking the exact same words. She looked around in confusion. She noticed two other girls, Julia and Tegan, standing with identical looks of surprise. Ayala turned forward again just as Ms. Alvarez spoke. Well, it seems we have some students here who share an appreciation for the music program. She smiled and added, right down to choosing the same words at the same time. Ayala felt herself duck her head in embarrassment. She had wanted to speak, but had not planned on making such a dramatic scene. I can see you young ladies feel strongly, the president went on, addressing Ayala. She asked, would you please speak for your fellow students and explain your side of the argument? Aaliyah took a deep breath and said, the music program means more to students than anyone can imagine. She spoke from her heart for 10 long minutes, and then the meeting went on and on until Ms. Alvarez finally brought it to a close. Let's meet again in a week to finish this conversation and come to a decision. As the room emptied, Ayala, Julia, and Tegan made their way toward each other. I didn't know you guys were into music. I play trumpet, Tegan replied. I don't know what I'll do if they cut band classes. Julia nodded and said she played the piano. Well, we've got a week to think about it, said Ayala. Immediately, the girls began talking about gathering support and starting fundraising projects. Now that she knew other people shared her passion, Ayala felt a torrent of ideas flooding her mind. Absorbed in conversation, none of the girls noticed Mr. Hopkins. Now that I see how excited you all are about the music program, he said, I believe we may be able to avoid the worst of the cuts. I can't wait to hear what you have to say at the next meeting, and I'll certainly root for you to succeed. Ayala smiled at the other girls and was pleased to see the confidence in their eyes. He's right, she said. Let's do this together.